Hello viewers, welcome to FreeCAD 1.0 first video for beginners. In this video we'll be learning by doing. We'll learn some tools of FreeCAD during the modeling of this no piece, a cell phone stand. You will see how to combine tools of Partsign, Sketcher and Sheet Metal Workbench to create this useful 3D model in our lives. In FreeCAD, to design our cell phone stand, we have first to create a new document. To do that, we have these all options here on the start page of FreeCAD. We can click in Import File and this will create a new blank document. Just click here and as you can see, now we have a new document here. And by default, the start workbench of FreeCAD is Partsign. And this is very good because we'll design our cell phone stand on the Partsign. In the Partsign workbench, by default, before all operations, we have first to create a body object. A body object is a container of all operations that we do during the part creation. To create that object, we have to click in this icon. Just click here and as you can see, now we have a body object on the tree view. Let's start our modeling process by creating a sketch first. That sketch will be a base for almost all operations that we'll do to arrive in this final part. Let's create a sketch. To create a sketch in the Partsign workbench, we have to click in this icon here. So just click here and next here we have to select a plane for our first sketch. Let's select XY plane in this way. And as you can see, now we are on the sketch workbench. Okay. And here, what you'll do first is to go to Sketch Geometries, these tools here. And from here, we'll select the rectangle tool first. Just click here and zoom out here. And then create this rectangle. Don't set dimensions for this rectangle. And create this rectangle here. And it's okay. Now skip this tool. And next thing to do is to select these two lines in this way and delete these two lines, and next select this vertical constraint and now control this constraint here, this one here and this. And next what to do, delete these constraints and select these two endpoints of these lines here and use constraint constant. Just click here and we'll have this. Now if we drag this, as you can see, we can do this. Next, select these two endpoints and apply the same constraint. Just click here and we'll have this. Okay, the next thing that we'll do is to set symmetrical constraint for these points of these horizontal lines. Okay, so what do you do? First we have to click in this constraint here, constraint symmetric. Click here and next select these two endpoints of this horizontal line and next this vertical axis, and we have this. Do the same for these 2 points here, select vertical axis and do the same for these 2 endpoints of this horizontal line, and we have this. We now have 6 degrees of freedom here in the solver messages. So it means that we have to try to full constrain this sketch here. Okay, next thing that we can do here is to use the dimension tool to set the dimensions of this sketch here. So just click here in this icon and start with this horizontal line. Just click in this line and click again here to set a horizontal dimension. Okay, the length here must be 55 millimeters. And these 2 points here, select these 2 points and set a horizontal distance of 45 millimeters and enter. And now click on this horizontal line and set a length of horizontal length of 7. Okay, and enter. Now we have 3 degrees of freedom, as you can see. The next thing that we'll do is to set vertical distance. Okay, let's start with this point here, these 2 points. Let's set a vertical distance of 75 millimeters and we have this. Next, select this point and next this horizontal axis and create a vertical distance of 100 millimeters. Okay, and next select this horizontal axis and this point here and create a vertical distance of 90 millimeters. And as you can see now, the geometry of this sketch here is green, and it means that it's full constrained, as you can see here. So now we can close this sketch here. To close this sketch, you can click on this button or you can click on this icon. Just press escape 2 times to leave the sketch, and we have this. Next, press home on your keyboard and you will see this sketch here. Okay, now that we have this sketch, it's time to create an extrusion of this sketch. To do that, we'll use a tool available here on the part design workbench. We go to these tools here and we click exactly in this icon, pad tool. Just click here, and in this task panel, go to length and change the length here to 3 millimeters. So we need a thickness of 3 millimeters for this part. And next, click OK to finish this operation. Okay, now that we have this, let's consider this part here as a wall. Okay, it's missing a fillet on a sketch of this part here. Let's do that. Go to the model tab, and in this first operation, this pad operation, just click on this arrow and double click on this sketch. What we'll do in this sketch now is to change some things here. We'll add a fillet in these 4 lines. To do that, we need first to click in this fillet icon. Just click here, and we can also hide these all constraints to work easily. To hide these constraints here, we go to constraints, and in this icon we click here, and as you can see we have this. Okay, next we click in this line and in this line here, and now we have this fillet, as you can see, and also 1 degree of freedom. Click here on this line and also in this line. Okay, now we have 2 degrees of freedom. Next, select equal constraint, and what to do with this command is to set these 2 fillets equal. So click here and click here, and we have 1 degree of freedom, as you can see. Okay, next it's time to set the radius of this fillet. To do that, we select the dimension tool, and next we click in this arc and we click here and we set a radius of 100 and enter, and we have this. This sketch is now full constrained again. If you want to see all constraints, what you have to do is to click in this icon again, and if you want to hide this all constraint, just click here again, and we have this. Now just close this sketch and we have this. Okay, now to create our first band, this band here, we need first to create a sketch on this face here. To do that, first we need to select this face and then use this tool here, create sketch of part design workbench. Just click here and the sketch will be created on this face here. We are on the top view, as you can see here, and what to do now in the sketch workbench is to select the line tool and create a line in the horizontal axis. The dimension of this horizontal line here is not important because we only need to create a band using this sketch here. Just close this sketch, and next change the workbench to sheet metal workbench. We'll create a band here on the sheet metal workbench. This workbench here, you have to know that is not an internal workbench of FreeCAD. You have to install it if you don't have it in your FreeCAD. To install this sheet metal workbench, you have to go to Tools and select Add-on Manager. Here you will need internet connection, and also you will have to search for sheet metal workbench and install it in your computer, in your FreeCAD program if you don't have this installed. Here on the sheet metal workbench, as you can see, we have these tools. Okay, and only one tool is active, this tool here, which says Add Base Shape. Okay, to activate other tools, we have, for example, to select this face here, and as you can see we have this. Okay, our intention here is to fold this part here using this sketch. So our first step is to hold Ctrl key and select this face here of this part, and then select this sketch, this line here. And as you can see, now we have this command activated in the toolbar of sheet metal workbench. We click here now, and as you can see, a new operation was created in the tree view, this fold operation. Okay, let's change to the right view, and as you can see, we have this. Okay, my intention now is to invert this band here. To do that, I go to the model tab on the tree view, I select the fold operation, and then I go to parameters of this operation. I just go to invert band, and I change here to true, and I press enter, and I close this start page here, and as you can see, now I have this. And the next things that we can do here is to, for example, change the radius to 10 millimeters and enter. If we go to the final model, as you can see, we have this fillet here, this small fillet, this band, as you can see. Okay, next here we can change also the fold angle. Let's change here to something like 125, no, let's say 110 degrees and enter. And we have this, as you can see. Okay, press home on your keyboard, and next change to the part design workbench. What you'll do in the part design workbench is to use the create sketch tool to create a sketch here on this face. So select this face here and create a new sketch. And what to do here on the sketch workbench, just go to sketch geometries, and for here select the line tool and create a horizontal line here. And next, use the dimension tool, this tool here, and select this line. Now this horizontal edges, and set a distance of 100 and enter. Okay, here we have this distance from the horizontal edges to this line. The length of this line here is not important. Just close this and change to the sheet metal workbench again. Select sheet metal here, go to the model tab, press home, and next hold Ctrl key and select this face here and also this sketch. And as you can see, now this command is activated again. So just click here, and as you can see, now we created a new fold on this part. Change to the right view, and as you can see, we have this. The next things that we will change in this operation will be the radius and also the angle. Select this fold operation on the tree view, go to parameters and go to radius, change here to 5 millimeters. And next change the angle of this operation to 125 degrees and enter. And we have this, as you can see. Okay, the next operation that we'll do is to create a band here on this edge. As we can see here, we'll create this band first. To do that, we need first to select this edge. And as you can see, now we have these all commands activated here on the toolbar of sheet metal workbench. To create our band, we'll be using this tool here. Just click here, and it will create a band, as you can see. Change to the right view, and as you can see, we have this. Select this band operation, change to data here, go to parameters of this operation, and for example here, we'll change the radius to something like 2.5 millimeters of radius. Enter, and we have this, as you can see. Okay, next here, let's change the length to something like 12.5 millimeters and enter, and we have this. Okay, now that we have this band here, we can also create a new band here exactly on this edge here, like on this 3D part. Okay, so what we do, first we have to select this edge and then click on this icon again, and we create a new operation, this band. Change to the right view, next select this operation again, go to parameters. First thing that will change here will be the angle to 75 degrees and enter, and we have this, as you can see. Okay, next here we'll change the radius to 2.5 millimeters, and the length here will change to 8 millimeters, and it's all. Okay, it's all in the sheet metal workbench. The next operations we'll do in the part design workbench. So just click in workbench selector and select part design workbench, and our next operation will be a creation of a sketch here on this face to create this pocket here. As you can see, go to our model, select this face here, and use create sketch tool of part design to create a sketch on this face. Next here, go to these tools of sketch workbench, select external jump tool. Using this tool here, we'll be able to extract this edge here, and we have this line here. Next, go to sketch jumps and click on this arrow, and from this all options select centered rectangle and create that rectangle here on the horizontal axis, and next click in this line here, and we have this. Next, select dimension tool and click in this point, and now in this point here, and set the distance to 15 millimeters and enter. And we have this 1 degree of freedom. Now just click on this vertical line and set, for example, a length of 20 millimeters. Yes, we have this, and this sketch here is full constrained. Now just click here to leave this sketch. And next, to create a pocket, we have to use this tool here. Just click here, and this tool will subtract material using this sketch. Change the length here to, for example, the idea here is to subtract all material here. So let's change here to 30 millimeters, and we have this. It's okay. Click OK now, and next press home, and we'll see this. Next, let's create a sketch here on this face. We'll use that sketch to create these two holes, as you can see here. Go to our model, select this face and create a new sketch. Here, what you'll do first is to go to sketch jumps and select slot tool, this tool here. Just click here and start the creation of this slot here on the vertical axis. Set the length for 30 millimeters and the angle set minus 90 degrees, and the radius of this set 6 millimeters, and we have this 1 degree of freedom. Now next, select cycle tool and create that cycle here on the horizontal axis. Set the diameter of 12 millimeters, and we have this 2 degrees of freedom. Now next, use the dimension tool to set the distance between these two center points and set the vertical distance of 20 millimeters. 1 degree of freedom. Now next, select external jump tool and extract this edge here. So now we have this line here to use as a reference. Select dimension tool, click on this point, and next in this edge here, and set a distance of 15 millimeters, and we have this. Next, click in this button to close the sketch and use pocket tool to create these holes. Next, click OK, and we have this, as you can see. Now that we have these all operations, it's time to create fillets on this 3D part, like you see here on this part. First, we'll start from these two edges here. What to do? Just zoom in and select this edge, and now control this edge here and select fillet tool. The idea now is to change the radius to 10 millimeters and then press OK, and we have this. Okay, next is time to create fillets on this edge here, like you see here on this part. To easily select the edge, we can change the draw style to wireframe. So in this way, it will be easy to select the edge that we need for the fillet operation. So to change the draw style, we go to this icon here, clicking this arrow and select wireframe. Or we can simply use this shortcut here. Just click in wireframe option, and as you can see, we have this. Next, hold Ctrl key and select this edge here, this one here, this edge, and also this edge and this edge. And next select fillet tool. And next change the radius to something like 5 millimeters and click OK. And next change the draw style to flat lines, and we have this as you can see. Press home and you'll see this. And now that we created the fillet operations, let's for example create these two extrusions here. Let's do that. Select this face here first and create a sketch on it. And what to do now, just go to sketch diagrams, and from here we need to select rounded rectangle tool. To do that, just click in this arrow and select rounded rectangle, or you can just use the rectangle and then activate this option to create a rounded rectangle. Okay, now just go in here and create this rectangle. As you can see, we can set the dimensions of this rectangle during its creation. The width of this rectangle will set 8 millimeters, and the height let's set 7, and the radius for the corners let's set 2 millimeters. And we can do the same here. Just click here, just create the rectangle, set 8 millimeters and 7 and 2 millimeters for the corner radius, and we have this. Or we can simply mirror this geometry here on this side. To do that, we can delete this geometry, select and delete, and next just select this rectangle and click in symmetry tool, click here, and then click on the horizontal, and then click on the vertical axis, and we have this, and with the same constraints here. We have now 4 degrees of freedom. Next, select symmetrical constraint and make this point here and this point symmetrical to this vertical axis. Now we have 2 degrees of freedom, as you can see. Let's hide these all constraints here. Just click on this icon. Next, use the dimension tool and set the distance between this point here to this vertical axis and set a distance of 10 millimeters. 1 degree of freedom now. Next, let's use external jump tool and extract this edge here. Select dimension tool, and next select this line and this edge and set a vertical distance of 2 millimeters. And we have this. This sketch is full constrained, as you can see. Close this, and next select pad tool to create an extrusion of these two geometries. Here, change length to 0.5 and OK. And we have this, as you can see. Okay, this is all for this model. We can do additional things to this part here. For example, increase the appearance of this part here, like we see on this part here. To do that, we need to select the part. We can, for example, select this edge here and right click on mouse and select this option, appearance. Okay, from this task panel, we can be increasing the appearance of this part here. For example, if I click here, I see these all options for material. For example, I will select aluminum and I will close this arrow, and next I will decrease the line width and the point size. And next I click here in custom appearance, and I will, for example, change the diffuse color to, for example, this color here, and I click OK and close here, and as you can see I have this, and I close this, and we finally have this 3D model. We now have the 3D model with a different color. So this is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot with me during the modeling of this part here. If you find this video useful, please don't forget to hit like and share this video with your friends. And also, if you want to support the content of the channel, you can support the channel going to the Ko-fi page of the channel. And also you can buy this ebook here, which contains more than 50 exercises to practice in FreeCAD 1.0. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next video.